What's going on, everyone? This is Eric, and we're going to be going over the tournament from Boston this past weekend. We have three games and two wins, one loss. But again, more important than that, I want to get into the statistics here. And again, I'm talking to the coaches and the players and the parents and whoever is interested in this kind of thing. These videos were originally designed in my head just for the coaches. But as time went on, the players just kind of get more interested in this kind of stuff, and some of the parents also. So trying to tailor it to as many people as possible. One thing also, I mean, is that this was an extraordinarily quick turnaround for these games. It's depending on the streaming service that we use or that is used. You know, we don't get to choose at the tournament. Sometimes it takes a week to get this footage back. Sometimes an hour. So this was extraordinarily good. The only reason this was even a day late, not late, a day longer to get it up there was I literally forgot about the third game, and Mike reminded me. So I'm glad he did, by the way, because it's quite an interesting game. All right, let's start with Loic hoops. Now, again, it's important to know what we're looking for here. Um, the numbers that we're looking for again, and this is particular to your age group, and particular to the types of tournaments that I know Chris is going to be wanting you to play. I mean, these the numbers that I give you as goals have been researched by me as being those kind of those baseline goals that a team needs to make to compete in these types of tournaments at this age group. So effective field goal percentage, again, we're looking for, boy, 45% maybe, or perhaps 50. I mean, if you could do 50 at your age, that's incredible. But over the course of a season, but at least 45. For turnover rate, we want to keep below 20%. And then for offensive rebound percentage, we want to keep above 30%. So this particular game, you'll see that you were a little bit light in the effective field goal percentage. So 48%. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I keep forgetting your age group. 48% for your age group is fine. I mean, that's really actually, I would consider that good. Um, Turnover rate, you kept below 20, and that's pretty good. And offensive rebound percentage was a little light, but this is overall a pretty decent performance here. When it comes to the shot chart, again, this is not as important for you guys as to others, other ages, but at some point, you're going to want to get rid of these shots. And even at your age, I mean, you can see, the problem with these kind of what I call bad twos. Number one, they're only worth 2 points, and number two, you don't make them even as often as you make the threes. And there are reasons for that. I mean, when you get into this awkward area, you have a bad combination of having a not that short of a shot and it almost always being contested. So, and that's why this game is a good example of that. You took three, four, six, seven, eight of these bad twos, and you only made one of them. And even if you ran a little bit better, they're only worth 2 points. So the idea is that if you can make it from here, well, if you can make it from here, like if you make it from three, shoot it from there, as opposed to just inside the 3 point. That's the idea here. And again, I'm not as nasty with you guys as I am for the 10th and certainly the 11th graders on this point. But I still think at your age, it's worth learning this type of thing. And coaches, again, you know what I'm talking about here. For you guys, let's take a look at the box score. Box score against Loey Coop. Who did what? Well, this Loey Coop. Yeah, Drew 1 for 10 from three. Ouch. That's pretty funny. Hey, there you go, Colin. You like them apples? Nice job. Three for three from three. Kenyatta 2 for. Look at this. I want to watch these. Let's see. And that's what's cool about Huddle. You can click right through on this on the link there. We can actually see them. There you go. I always say the lefties always shoot better. How do you like that? You listen. You're young enough that we don't really care about wins here. I mean, I don't. as much about development, especially at your age. So if you can start getting practice shooting these in games and coaches will let you, I mean, you just look at that. And that looks pretty freaking good, Kenyatta. That one missed, whatever. I like it. I like it. Again, don't worry about that. What you got to do, you get in the gym and shoot, you know, as many of them as humanly possible under guidance where your form is being, looked at and stuff, and then take good shots, and that's how you develop. That's it. Overall, pretty solid game here, actually. All right, let's move on to the game against the New Haven Heat, where you won that as well. And you won it sort of by accident. I mean, you won this only because I think the team you were playing was particularly bad. Because your effective field goal percentage is 36%, and that's really, really poor. You're really not supposed to win games like that. The good thing is you did keep the turnovers down below 20, so that's not bad. Like if you look at the crown opponents, like the opponents, when they were pretty bad too. They had 38% effective field goal percentage. You can't really count on that. So let's get into the shot chart and see what your shot selection looked like in this game. Yeah. So again, this is another good example here. Of these bad twos in this range here, you took six of them and missed them all. And you think about it, look at your percentages at the rim. It's just incredible. Even from three, even though you didn't make anything really, at least if they did go in, right, they would have been worth three. Here, this is kind of like that dead zone where you really don't want to be taking them. So, and again, you could click through here, like for example, and see, you know, which of these were really bad twos and which were just kind of okay. Like this one, well, that was hopeless. Let's look at this thing here. Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know what to say. That's just a tough shot. All right, let's take a look at the box scores. Box score from this game. It's New Haven Heat. Uh, hey, O'Neal, nice job. Muy bueno. 4 of 8 from the field. 3 steals. I think you have 3 turnovers. Not great, but that's all right. Listen, if you can give me 3 assists, 2 deflections, and 3 steals, I mean, I might live with the 3 turnovers, honestly. Who else here? Kenyatta, another nice game. So nobody really made anything from three, but no, really no big deal. I'm more concerned about those bad shots just inside. But here are the stats. Again, nothing really big to speak of. You know what? I should have pointed out from the previous game that Colin had a particularly good game. I saw it in the stats, but then I got involved in something else. Um, uh, that's good to see. All right, let's move on, I guess, to the last game. And the last game is one of the strangest games statistically that I've ever seen, and it is still extremely instructive. So here's the thing about stats, and here's the thing about my research for this particular age group or whatever. So was it Spartans? Yeah. Okay. So of these 3 factors, and you see it says 4 factors. The fourth, just so you know, is free throw rate, but we don't care too much about that at this level. But of these 3 factors, the stat that contributes the most to success, or is the most predictive of success, it's actually pretty close between effective field goal percentage and turnover rate. And you could even argue that turnover rate is more important at this age group. It's just so critical to get shots off that every single time you get an empty possession, it's really, really a disaster. Okay. And this game is a perfect example of it. You had a very, very strong effective field goal percentage for your age here at 52%, and you got dusted. And how did that happen? Well, it happened for two reasons that all stem from the same reason. So the reason is that you had a 32% turnover rate, and that is it's really hard to do. I mean, that's a lot of turnovers to make. Um, and so what ends up happening, it's twofold. Number one, like you don't get shots, but also number two, check this out. The opponent had a 57% effective field goal percentage. And you know why that was? Because what happens is turnovers lead to easier shots going back. Okay. So that's the thing about the turnovers and turnover rate and stuff like that, is that it compounds on the other side of the ledger. You know, not only does it affect the ability for you to get shots off, but it increases the ease of the shots that your opponent is taking. So that's why you gotta figure out how to way to take care of the ball. Now I watched some of the footage and they were pressing the whole time. And this is unfortunately what happens at your age group, is that you'll face teams that are not particularly skilled, but what they do is they make up for it with just trying to leverage their athleticism. Okay, I mean they had 5 or 10 what are really good athletes on the team. None of them are that great basketball players, but listen, as a coach for them, I mean he wanted wins, so that's what you should. That's what he did. I mean he leveraged his skills that he had in front of him, and it wasn't particularly basketball skills; it was more just athleticism skills. And you guys couldn't, live up to that challenge, because one thing about athleticism, and you press the whole time. If you have a team that's going to turn the ball over, then it's very effective to play that way because it makes up for your skill deficiencies, and that's exactly what happened here. And not only do you lose, you lost by 30. And the thing is that from a skill perspective, there's no way this team was 30 points better than you. I mean, I looked at this. Maybe they were 10, 15 at most, but you made it just way too easy on them to prove it. You know what I mean? Like by turning the ball over as much as you did, you just left yourself really, really no chance. Okay. Tell you what else leaves you no chance is spilling coffee all over the place. But okay, let's take a look at the shot chart, and it's going to probably look kind of fishy, but let's see. But maybe it looks okay. Yeah. So once again, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? Bad twos. I mean, I'm not saying you would have won if you didn't do this, but this certainly doesn't help you. You know what I mean? And this is again, this is something you really have never been taught. So, especially at your age group, so it's really on the coaches to drill this into you. And again, if they're going to be with the team for several years or whatever, you're going to have to hear this from me for several years. Um, okay, 1 second. So let's take a look at the box score. And we'll just see if there's anybody particularly responsible for these turnovers. I mean, not really. You have three guys, Matt, Matthew, Andrew, Drew, and Kevin, 5, 5, and 6 turnovers. And coaches, just click through here. They're almost all against the press. So you just have to kind of work on that. And unfortunately, a lot of it is skill and strength. Um, but a lot of it is focus and scheme also. So it's just something you're just going to have to address if you're going to play these. I mean, ninth grade tournaments is what you get. I mean, you just do. You get matchups against these teams that will just put put the athleticism card on the table and challenge you to call it, and it's sometimes hard. Okay. Anybody get any good shots off? I mean, not really. This game was just kind of a train wreck. Colin again, 2 for 3 from 3 here. Colin has a let's go back to this one. Colin had a couple of actually he was 0 for 3 from this game. Go back to the Lily Hoop again. Let's see. Then again, 3 for 3 from 3 here. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look. I mean, just for fun, at the stats for the season, both from a team and individually. Let's look at the whole, and then we got 14 games here. That's like half of a college season, honestly. So this is a kind of a sample. And you guys are actually, oh, this is their opponents. Oops. Their opponents are 45%. So you guys are 42% effective field goal percentage. You're just a little light. You know, that's the best I can say. You're not that light, but a little light. You know, if you want to compete in the in these bigger live event tournaments, live period tournaments, you're just gonna have to get this up a little bit more. And part of the way you could do that, because your turnover rate is even with that last game, it's still within a decent range of outcomes for your age at 20. Obviously, the lower you can get that, the better. But I think that, I mean, if I were you, Chris, and Mike, I would teach them a little bit more about, and I will too, about this, about better shot selection. I mean, I know I like to wait more until 10th or 11th, but it's just too, they're just too close. You know what I mean? To where I need them. And I think if they made a little bit of a change as far as the bad twos, I think it would help. I mean, it definitely would help. Would get them completely over the top. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's um let's take a look at the stats for the season. Now, again, if I want you to have 45% for as a team effective field goal percentage, what that means that you can try to do for me as individuals is one of two things. Number one, try to make 45% of your twos. And the other thing, again, try to make 30% of your threes. That's, I think, a very reasonable goal for your age, for this age. So let's take a look and see who's there. Uh, Two pointers. Yeah, I mean, Kenyatta, O'Neal, pretty, you know what, for a man of, let's say, muy pequeño, not very big, O'Neal, right? But yet, be able to finish really pretty nicely at the rim, 54%. That's very good. Finn, excellent. Finn, very, very good finishing at the rim. I like it. Kenyatta, 45. Need some work. Colin. So this is not bad. Let's take a look at the threes. Let's see who we got. Um, so, well, Drew, I got you two different stats because we had to change your name one time. So this is actually not too bad. We'd have to put these together, but it's close. But so far, I mean, Kyle close at 30, so we don't really have the guy yet that can make the threes at a level that we need. We're not really shooting that many of them, but so this is why it's tough. Okay, this is why it's tough. So number one, yeah, you have to certainly get to the rim. By the way, Kenyatta, I have to point this out: 20 of 25 from the line. I mean, you're a big dude and you're going to get to the line a lot. That's really really big. That's very strong. So you listen, get in the gym because you're going to have to start making some of these, and there's just no way around it. That's the way the math works on in these games, or have even more plays and sets and stuff to really design to get actually at the rim. But that's pretty much it. Overall, pretty good start to the season. Got some tough tournaments coming up, and we'll see how it goes. Good luck, everybody.